Jim Edwards here, joined today by one championship featherweight, Christian Lee, all the way from Hawaii. Christian, how are you doing today, pal?
I'm doing great, man. Just about 1 week away from my fight, and I'm getting some great training over here with my dad, my team at United MMA, and I'm feeling really good for this fight camp.
Yeah, so tell me about this. You're getting back in the octagon really, really fast. I believe you're facing a guy called, I might mispronounce his name, but Battle. And
Yes.
I guess that's a really short turnaround. You were only in action a few weeks ago, weren't you?
Yeah. I said fight camp, training camp, but really, I haven't gotten out of training camp for the past 6 months. I've basically just gone from fight to fight. Luckily, I haven't taken any serious injuries, and so I was able to just continue my training, continue my fight camp throughout the last couple months. And I feel that if I go out there and win in devastating fashion, and I don't take any injuries, then I don't see why not. I don't see why I can't take all of these fights. So.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, you've had four wins already, and as you say, you've finished them all in the first round. It's been really super impressive stuff. So let's talk about your fight with Bulos a few weeks ago. You got in there and you just put the pressure on so early, didn't you? And you managed to get the finish so quickly. What were your thoughts on that fight? How did you kind of judge your performance?
Okay. So for my last fight with Bulos, I knew he's a heavy hitter. Not the most technical fighter in the world, but he had a good record. I think he was 7-2 or 7-3 before we fought, and all of his wins came by finishes, and all of his losses came by finishes. So I knew this guy just swings for the fences. And going into the fight, my dad and I created a game plan for my opponent, and I was lucky enough to have executed it perfectly the way that we envisioned it. So yeah, my last fight, I was very happy because I was able to just execute the game plan perfectly.
Yeah, and I guess is your dad a bit of a mastermind with you in terms of strategizing for the different fights that you have?
Oh yeah, I would say, I'd put it this way. I do all the training. I train to get my mind, body, and spirit as um, as perfect as possible. But my dad does all the strategy. You know, he's a strategist, and that's what he does. And so when me and my sister go in there to fight, we've always got this game plan to fall back on, that my dad has created for us.
Yeah, for sure. So, I guess without revealing anything for your fight coming up next week, have you guys already sat down, watched this guy's previous fights, and worked out the plan for him?
Yeah. As soon as I found out that I was fighting Rocky, I immediately pull up tape. It's the first thing I do. I look up his record, I look up his past fights, and this guy's he's actually quite similar to my last opponent.
Mm.
Um, Same thing. He swings for the fences. He goes out on his shield, and I think he's gonna be looking to come to knock me out. So I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna be at the top of my game, and like always, I'm gonna look to finish him.
Yeah, for sure. And talk to me a bit about this one event next week in Bangkok. It's obviously supposed to be a fantastic event. They're combining all different types of music, I think, along with the event. What should I expect when I get into Bangkok next week?
Oh yeah, man. This event is gonna be huge. By far, one of the biggest events in the history of one championship. So I think whether you're a fan of rock music or a fan of MMA fighting, you're gonna come in there and you're gonna see a great show. Personally, if I wasn't fighting on this card, I would love to just go there and watch the fights, just be in the atmosphere. But yeah, I think it's gonna be amazing. I think this is gonna be one of the best fight cards yet.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm super excited for it. Obviously, we were talking about earlier all of your wins so far have, coming in the first round. You kind of getting to the point where you always feel the pressure that you have to finish it then. And I guess alternatively, are you kind of looking for someone to push you a bit more, maybe?
um, well, I have finished all my fights in the first round, but I don't want to put that pressure on myself. I'm not going to go out there and tell everyone that I'm going to finish this guy in the first round. I'm going to finish him in the first minute. Because um, you can't control that. You can't control you can't go out there and say I'm going to finish this guy in 30 seconds. Or else you're going to overreach. You're going to get and you're going to expose yourself. So I just try to go out there and just stick to my game plan, and whenever I see the finish, that's when I go for it. I don't look for the finish. I just wait for it to come to me. And as far as my opponents come, I take every opponent. I don't take any opponent lightly. Every time I go in there to fight, I just think of it this way. I think I'm going in there and fighting the best fighter in the entire world. I think I'm going in there and fighting the champ. So that's just the way I think of it, to keep me sharp, keep me on my toes. I don't overlook anyone. But yes, of course, if I am able to get past Rocky, I would like to look to up the rankings in the featherweight division.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, you're only. I keep having to remind myself whilst I'm speaking to you here that you're only 17. You sound so mature, and that you have your head like firmly fixed on your shoulders. Do you find it hard when there is kind of so much hype around you? Do you find it really hard to keep your kind of feet on the ground? And do your parents help you out, I guess, trying to keep you grounded?
Yeah, I definitely say that the one thing that keeps me grounded, also my sister, is just the fact that we have such a strong support from our family. Here in Hawaii, down in Singapore, our team United MMA, and also down in Singapore Evolve MMA. Like, we've gotten extremely close to both teams, and just the great atmosphere of our family and friends. I think that's what really keeps us grounded. Um, there's going to be a lot of hype coming, even more than there already is, and at the end of the day, me and my sister, we're still the same people that we were before we started fighting. So I think that's the most important thing. That no matter how famous you get, you just stay true to who you are.
Yeah, for sure. And talk to me. Obviously, you said that you fight over. Well, you train over in United MMA with in your parents' gym when you're in Hawaii. But what about I guess the Evolve? You also mentioned them. Have you worked with some of the guys there? That I know that Ben Askren trains there when he's over in the East, and obviously there are other like UFC champion Rafael dos Anjos. Who are the kind of the guys that you work out with when you're training at Evolve?
Yeah, the great thing about Evolve is they got so many world class athletes in there to train with. My The last trip I took down to Singapore, I was lucky to have trained alongside Rafael dos Anjos. He's a great guy. I also trained with Shinya Aoki. I haven't had a chance to train with Ben Askren yet, because every time we've been down there, we're both in fight camp. But just the wealth of knowledge there is incredible. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's rated as one of the best gyms in the world. It's no wonder you speak so highly of it. I guess at such a young age as well. What are kind of your ambitions for the kind of short term future? Do you see featherweight staying your home, or do you think that you kind of have a bit more growth to do?
um, well, I do see myself growing out of the featherweight division. Um, and I'm not gonna lie, I pretty much am still growing, and I'm starting to feel it a little bit. But I'm planning on holding off the weight, staying in the featherweight division just a little longer. I want to rack up a couple more wins, a lot more wins actually,
Hmm.
and before I think about moving up or down, moving up a division, I want to try to conquer my division first. So
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, I believe there is a congratulations in order because I believe that you graduated from high school not long
Yeah.
ago. Tell me about that. Was that that must have been really weird, man? You know, one moment you find yourself in a cage fighting, and the next you're doing probably the most ordinary thing that a 17-year-old could do. What was that like?
Yeah, it's always kind of weird for me coming back home because I'll be traveling the world fighting, meeting all these people, and then I'll come back and I'll be like, oh man, I'm actually still in high school. I kind of surprised myself, but now that it's over, I feel really good. Um, Nothing's really changed because I'm still basically doing what I've been doing for the past year so far. Um, Throughout high school, I would just ask for all the work ahead, just finish the work for basically the whole quarter, and then when I'd go up to fight, then all my work would be done. So that's how I pulled it off.
Yeah, no, it's a great achievement to be doing alongside I guess what you're doing in the MMA world. And I guess kind of I just want to understand what do you have any like big interests outside of MMA? Is there anything that you kind of like doing just to switch your mind off from everything?
Well, one thing that really helps take my mind off of the fight camp and everything, it's still martial arts related, but I love teaching kids program here at United MMA. I I run the kids program over here, and we got so many great kids, and they just love training in martial arts, and they're so much fun. So definitely, I would say that's one thing that keeps my mind off of the intensity and the stress of the fight camp. So. But I mean, besides that, I love spending time with my family. And over here in Hawaii, man,
Oh,
beaches are the best. So,
yeah, man. I vowed to visit Hawaii one day. I'd absolutely love to.
oh yeah, you got to, yeah. It's a really nice place.
So I guess just a few more questions. Just going back to your current MMA career, is there anyone that you kind of look at in your division and you think that would be a good fight? Obviously, I'm not asking you to call anyone out as they would say, but is there anyone you kind of really respect in your division that you'd love to test yourself against?
Um, well, in the featherweight division, in one, there's a lot of great fighters, but for now, um, I'll just there's not really anyone in particular that you know that stand out to me so much that I would really like to fight them.
Mm.
Um, I basically just want to keep racking up wins, jumping the ladder, and eventually the one fight that's on my mind is the champ. So whether that be Murat by the time I'm ready, by the time that I'm in position for a title shot, or someone else, that's the guy that I want. So.
Yeah, 100%. And I guess a question I always ask anyone I interview is kind of when you really kind of started your professional career, got into mixed martial arts. What was the goal? Why did you start doing it? And I guess what do you kind of wanted to be able to say that you've achieved when you finish it?
The reason why I got into um, martial arts was because of my dad. Of course, he was a martial arts instructor, but the reason I got into MMA fighting is because of the fact that I really fell in love with martial arts. Um, it it started off as something that I just did as a necessity, because I had to go in and train every day. But as I grew older, it really became something that I loved doing. So at the end of my MMA career, I want to be known as one of the best fighters of all time, but also the best martial artist in history. So it's a big goal to set, but that's my plans for the future.
Yeah, for sure, Christian. It's a big goal, but you should always aim high. And I think you've made a great start to your career. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to with you today, and I really look forward to
Thank you.
meeting you in Bangkok next week.
Thanks, Jim. Look forward to meeting you too.
Thanks, Christian.